I'll call the meeting to order at 6:02. Yeah. Bingo. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the June 1st meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 1st meeting.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
No town representatives?
There may be a couple swinging by. Mike Halen and somebody from baseball may be stopping in, but obviously they're not here yet, so.
Oh, I just heard the door.
Oh, and by the way, that doorbell, so you know, last time we heard with that cat meowing.
Yeah.
That's the doorbell here.
Oh, I'm surprised we should have let somebody in.
Yeah.
They're probably waiting for us.
Hey, Scott,
How are you?
come on in, sir. How are you?
Come on.
Be on camera.
Okay, you ready for me now?
Yeah, let's,
You are?
Okay, time.
make yourself comfortable, sir.
I apologize, Chad told me you were still at South Street.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Well,
You got it.
Really?
I told him we were here.
He didn't tell me. That's nice. Did he tell you why I was coming?
Briefly, he told me yesterday, about a memorial you guys are looking at
Yes.
doing?
So the board of directors,
Oh, Scott, I'm sorry, could you just give your name and address for the record?
Scott Balutis, 30 Cornerstone Drive, Raynham, Massachusetts.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. New Year's Eve of this past year, a board member passed away. He was a board member, coach, parent, 3 kids that played in the program, 2 are still active. And the board asked me as a representative of the board of directors for baseball and softball to get your permission for an area that we were thinking of putting a memorial for Ted.
And who passed away again? I'm sorry.
Ted Donovan.
That's right, yes.
So, I'd walked the complex with Seth Kaplan, our vice president of baseball, looking for areas. There's a couple of, behind field 4 and center field, there's a plaque on a stone with 2 pine trees surrounding it. There's also one for Bill Nickerson right in front of the softball field. So we're thinking of the same concept with a mulch bed, a rock with a plaque, and then 2 flowers or shrubs or trees just on either side of it as a small memorial.
Mhm.
So if you want, I can show you the area
Great.
we're looking at. So this is the batting cages, and this corner right here where that half fence right there
Mhm.
meets the right field fence, just kind of cutting it out in a pie shape right in that corner.
You want to show
Yeah.
Chris and Josh?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, the pitch, softball warm-up circle, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be on the north end, but.
So that's like a half fence. That's the far away picture.
Yeah, this is where pitchers used to warm up.
They still do
Okay.
right there.
All right.
And that's why the half fence is there.
Yeah.
And then just cutting a pie shape into here, like, this is 9 feet long, maybe about 8 feet, and then pie shape in that direction. That way, Park and Rec wouldn't have to mow around it or through it or anything like that. They just kind of come up to that area and go around. Would you like to? I'm not sure if it's like that area. So, all costs would be covered by our YBSA if this is something that you would allow to be done.
Is that something our BSA would mulch every year and stuff like that, or is
We
it?
would absolutely take
is
care
that
of all our.
maintained? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with it
Okay.
on that area, as long as you guys are on board as well. I mean, I think that's a nice thing, very nice thing you're doing. I'm good as long as you guys are comfortable with it.
My only thoughts are, we've had recently somebody else who wants to dedicate an area to their father who was involved with youth baseball, football. He was a coach, mentor, dad, the whole 9 yards, And so he wanted to dedicate an area. This is a little bit different, but what we thought was, I don't disagree with your concept. I would support it, but just maybe think about, or in the future, if you have somebody that you feel needs to be recognized in such a manner, like donating something that's useful, like you see all the time, benches, granite benches, and in memory of, in a certain area where it can be utilized, so you have not only a memorial, but a piece of equipment that, provides the community with an area to enjoy the complex.
That was suggested
Okay.
as one of the ideas, and we're still open to a concept like that if you would prefer us to do something like that, where it's more functioning than just space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's just a suggestion. I would not object in any way to what you have right there.
Did this individual, is this a current situation you're talking about? Or is this
Yeah, and we've had it in the past as well.
yeah.
Yeah, and we've had, there was a young lady who wanted to do something for a family member down at the pond.
Yep.
So she put a bench there. Same thing, she wanted to dedicate an area, but she actually came up with a bench. I
Yeah, they
think.
came up with a bench, and
And it seems like, to me, it seems like a different concept that might be in the future when people ask to dedicate portions of land or areas to a person that they feel needs to be recognized for their service to the community, as an option too. Dedicating fields in areas like that is a completely separate conversation.
Well, I understand that, and there's individuals that have contributed to that complex at such great, that I would understand this is, kind of a small dedication that we feel his contribution is worthy of at least being acknowledged in some capacity.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't object to it. I'm just having a conversation about it. With you gonna be around for a few years, if this happens to come up again,
I don't know how your process works. If the board could brainstorm an idea, but would prefer something like this, would we already have your approval, and then we could come back for a location of something like a bench or something like that? Yeah. So just stay in contact with
Yes,
you
please.
if we alter we wouldn't do anything physical to the property without your permission, but
Yeah, absolutely.
that was one of the ideas that was brought forward was,
you guys have always done a great job with any of your projects communicating with us, so I have no doubt that'll continue, so.
I mean, I'll end the conversation there. Yeah, it's I'm just thinking about like guys like Bob McCabe that were around for 35, 40 years, at some point in time, but,
Yeah, Bob did a
That's
lot.
all.
Him and Butch Morrison and, guys
oh,
like
Butchie
that.
Morrison,
Yeah,
I mean, around 35, 40 years.
yeah, Butch I played baseball for years, he was great.
Yeah. That's all, just conversation. Anything else?
I'm in favor.
Make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the dedicated area.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm good, I can't vote, so.
Okay. You good, Sammy?
Got it.
All right.
okay, so I'll let the board know that our concept was approved.
Yep.
However, we'll reopen the conversation to either remain with this idea or look at alternatives as well. If we decide to do anything than what I described here, we'll re-communicate with you and bring that to your attention.
Sounds good.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Scott.
Appreciate
Good
it.
to see you. Hey, good luck
Thank you.
this weekend in the
All right,
tournament.
thank you. Yeah, please come down if you have
I'm gonna swing by.
Good. All right, thank you.
Was it softball last weekend?
Softball was last weekend, baseball is,
How the girls do? Never mind.
they did great. They did great.
Did you guys get pushed back at all? I mean, with all that rain you got this weekend?
Friday was a wash,
Yeah.
and we kind of doubled up a little bit on Saturday, but it was fine. We had enough room in the schedule, and we got the field ready in time.
Cool.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
See you, Scott.
All right.
Ready?
Alrighty.
Moving on. Sir, do you have
Hello.
business with the board?
I would like to, if the board will allow me to.
Please
Michael
identify
Heelan,
yourself for the record.
Michael Heelan, Heylin, Falmouth, Massachusetts, Executive Director of the Raynham Channel. And I'm here today with a lease of the South School, if I may.
Please.
Yeah, what's up with
Please
the
approach.
paperwork?
More papers.
Approach the bench. I was trying to organize one for you too, Tim. but-
Brow,
So-
Mr. Brow, unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight.
So I just wanted to quickly go over this. I came last month, I think it was, or the month before, and there's a couple of I think it's on pages 1 and 2, there's just some red lines. And this is what Raycam would like to do moving forward. We would like to have Park and Rec give us your all blessing. This is basically, right now, we have the first floor and the kitchen and like 3 or 4 parking spots. This right here would give Raycam the entire building. It's written in the lease where if Park and Rec decides to vacate the bottom floor, then Raycam would have the first right of refusal for that space. After talking to Mr. Iafredi and the handicapped issues, the bathrooms and the basement floor, etc., this is a way to utilize the whole building, and then we would have to work out a side letter where whenever Tim or Heather or Sammy, etc., want to use said space, it would just go through the Raynham Channel to schedule it. This would also allow us to get the work done in the basement. Last I talked to Graham Waters was that they had a $17,000 scope of work and nobody would take it, where if it went to the Raynham Channel, then we would not have to follow the same scope of work protocols, and we can get someone in there faster to get the work done. I would like to, and I don't want to speak for Tim, but I'm assuming we're in a similar boat, I'd like to get that building up and running by Labor Day so we can actually use it to do stuff. Right now, the building and the condition and ownership it's in can't be fixed, or is not being fixed. And even if it were fixed, there's still questions on whether it could be used as a basement only. So, yep, that's my story, and just kind of we were negotiating with Gordon and Joe Pacheco years ago about us using the whole building. And then that kind of fell to the wayside when COVID hit. But I think that if we could partner up on this whole thing, it would be advantageous to everybody. And I think that there's just the sections that have the red lines through them are the only ones that are of importance, I believe. And like, for instance, section 4, should Park and Rec permanently vacate the first floor, the lessee will have first option to lease it by negotiating an amended lease with the Board of Selectmen, which is the main issue here. As opposed to going to the select board and renegotiating it, I think it makes more sense to come to this board, say this is what we want to do, you guys all kind of have an idea, and work in tandem to get the building going. Any questions? Sammy, any questions?
I'm good.
Thank you. Tim?
Well,
I should have been asked this.
first of all, do you think that the work can legitimately get done by Labor Day? And that's it.
I'm hoping. So, right now, how it stands is that they put it out to bid, I think it was 17 grand was the scope of work.
Yeah.
There's $60,000 in a earmarked for the building. And they said that the scope of work is roughly 17. They had some people come in and no one will touch it. And then I asked Graham, like, what's happening now, and it seems to be just kind of like, that's it. Like, they put it out there, no one would touch it, so they kind of just said, yeah. Or,
Because as we've discussed, guys, our big issue on our end is right now, you know, Mike has the top floor, we have the bottom floor. It's the handicap access for us that is the big issue. We
Right.
can't legitimately or legally hold a program down there because we have, the bathrooms are on the top floor and we don't have an elevator to get
Right.
up and down. So those are our big issues. I think it's a great space, you know, and I wanna use that space. And it'd be good for, you know, especially during the day, like mommy and me programs, things like that, so we can, right now, we don't have that space. Now, in terms of if we go in that direction by quote unquote, in your words, vacating the building,
yeah.
you know, would it just be you and I working together? You know, as we've discussed in the past, that, you know, Mike, we got a program, you know, da-da-da-da. Is that how, you know, so we have constant communication, so if I need to run a program or anything in that building, there's where basically we have the chance to get in there with no problems.
And that's why I wanted to do, we could just do a handshake thing, but I'd rather have a letter of intent between this board and my board, so if either of us leave, there's still that understanding where Raynham would have the building, however, whenever Park and Rec wanted to use it for these programs, you would just have to check with us, and in reality, there shouldn't be an issue, because on the bottom floor, we have 2 or 3 good-sized rooms, plus the kitchen. On the top floor, we have the conference room, the large room, and then our editing room. And it's never been an issue in the past when Heather does her cooking stuff. We had Head Start in there for years. We do have high school kids in there Tuesday through Thursdays, 10 to 2, but those kids are all up in the editing room other than lunch. So that would be something where, you know, Park and Rec programming, you just have to just like check with Raynham to make sure it's available. You know,
What's your intended use of the space?
I want it to be functioning. I mean, so
Where's the $60,000 earmarked? Where's that?
So town meeting, spring 2020, it was passed. That outside one we had,
Yeah.
it was passed to fix, I mean, the roof is leaking,
Yeah.
the cupola, is that what it's called?
Yeah, who support, I mean, who would, do you recall who would, ask for that?
The select board,
The select board?
yeah, they asked for it, and that was supposed to fix, so, this might have been pre-Tim, but the pipes burst in the basement. This was back when, after Randy, but before Gordon. I forgot the gentleman's name. But the
Dave.
pipes, thank you, Dave. The pipes burst,
Yeah,
and
water damage.
water damage, it was bad.
Furnace.
Margo can tell you, like the Benningham, so that all had to get tore up and fixed. So right now, the whole basement is, they stripped it down to concrete. And that's all it is. So
Who did that work? The town?
the town did, yeah, I think. So this doesn't really affect the Raynham Channel directly, because upstairs, still awesome. All right, Margo? So upstairs, I mean, it's disorganized now, but like right now, if I had to, couple days of fixing it up, cleaning up, whatever, we could have our movie nights, we can do all that stuff, we still have our editing classes. What I use the basement for during the school is the Girl Scouts troops use that. So we might have one in, you know, Monday and Wednesday, I think, and there's one in one room, then in one day we actually have 2 at the same time in different rooms. If we didn't fix up the basement, we could still do those upstairs, but we
Yeah.
would just, it would be a little bit more of a juggle.
Yeah.
And then.
So the condition of the basement right now is concrete floors,
Yeah.
but the walls are still standing.
Oh, the walls are, yeah,
Kitchen still,
kitchen's fine.
yeah,
Ish,
okay.
and then, other than the floors, what else in the basement?
That one room, the like the wrestling room or the boxing room.
Moldy,
Yeah,
mildewy.
that's
Yeah.
that's in bad shape.
And my idea for that room, not to get ahead of myself, but is to clean it up, fix it up, and actually, instead of it being a wrestling room, more so like a Peloton bike or an elliptical or whatever it might be that,
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
for us, but then town employees and stuff could stop in their lunch, that kind of idea. And then the other thing is that when we have Girl Scout troops going
Tim, you
on,
gonna go there for your lunch break, do a little Peloton?
Actually, I do my Peloton at
All
4:30 in the
right.
morning.
Okay.
not at 4:30.
Sorry, Mike.
Strike that from the record.
I will take that bet.
Start texting me at 4:30. And then the other thing is that the large room, which were the pool tables and the foosball, were we did buy booths and tables that were set up. And the idea is that if you have Girl Scouts here, Boy Scouts in those two rooms, you'd have a larger room for parents to hang out in. Talked to Liz Moore a couple of years ago, and we're talking about doing like an early coffee pool thing for some of the older gentlemen in town. Where here they do like bridge, knitting, whatever else, all kinds of great activities. Where that space in the morning would
Yeah.
be more so like a hangout, have some dunks and shoot pool or talk about
So you still got the pool table and the foosball?
pool table, foosball. We have more arcade games.
Okay.
I mean, my whole thing is that right now we just can't.
Yeah,
It's unusable, and even if it was usable, there's still a question if we,
That's
could use it.
the legality. Anytime you're doing, as we all know, you do an update to the building, you gotta make sure you bring everything up to code.
right,
So, and the issue is the handicap access.
right.
So, and that's something that is just not going to change right now.
And that could still be an issue
I was gonna
for the Raynham Channel. If we had the whole building, that's still an issue in the basement. However, the catch, and this is what I ran by Bob with, is that if you had two meetings, one in the basement, one upstairs, and the basement meeting, somebody needed handicap accessibility, you could just be like, okay, we're just gonna flip it then. Where, this meeting's upstairs. It could still be an issue, but we're trying everything we can to make it accessible.
Overcome
make it
that,
work.
yeah.
And then worst case scenario, if it does become an issue, then we're in the same boat we are in now, but at least we, tried something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I support it. With the coordination, we're in the process of having two spaces right now that we utilize, or have utilized in the past, and currently utilize, giving up partial authority over. I would hope to think that in the future it wouldn't affect us. What are your thoughts?
I agree with what you're saying, I don't think it's going to affect us in the future.
But I just, the more we give away, the less
So
we have
that's,
to
that's
use,
where we
but-
need to be careful on our end. That is true too. How do I put this? I totally agree with that statement, because when you give something away, you never get it back. It's never gonna happen. Where we're kind of stuck on our end, and this is the way I'm feeling, is right now, we're in a desperate need of space, especially when we get to those winter months. I know we're talking about other spaces in town for us, but if we can make some type of agreement, I know it's that we can make something happen in there and run programs better for the town, I'd be for it, but I am leery about giving stuff away
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah. But we're also talking about two areas, but we'll be specific to the South School that, South School, yeah.
Yeah.
We're also in a position that we have a space that we don't have or can't afford to, it's impossible for us to do anything with it.
That's true.
So it's being wasted right now.
Exactly.
Where if we give the authority solely to Raycam, and then, you know, with the condition in there that the space could be utilized in coordination, much like what we'll be talking about with the Gymkhana, I would be obviously happier with that. Again, leery about giving away space, but we are also allowing the space to be unutilized because we're not willing to lose
That's the best way to put
the
it.
space.
Well, that's the whole thing, is that if the basement floor was usable now, or if it could easily become usable, then this probably wouldn't even be a discussion.
Right.
Where,
Right.
right now, it's just like, you have space, but you can't use it. But if you were to give it to the Raynham Channel, then you don't have the space.
But
Well,
it's
you
being
can't.
used for the town.
Yeah,
It's
And,
for the best of
It's for the,
and I will say that
for the betterment of the community.
when Liz was here and someone else in between her and Tim, I don't know if you're
Andrea?
Andrea Barra. Yeah.
There's never been an issue with, you know, using the
Coordination
building,
and
you
usage.
know, and
Yeah.
then Heather does her cooking stuff, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the goal of that building when Liz, Lou, and myself did all of this stuff, you know, 6, 7 years ago, was to have it for, it was started off as a teen center, then we kind of broadened it to community center, and
Yeah,
groups in town are using it quite regularly.
yeah,
Well, they were.
they were.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. We had football meetings down there.
Pat the Patriot came,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
It was a nice space,
The basement was a nice space.
and
all
it can
together.
still be a nice.
That's the whole thing, and then,
that whole area is nice, you know,
Yeah.
from the building to the out, you know, the field in the back.
Yeah.
I mean,
We gotta remember, we still have that field out there.
we do.
We wanted, the parking lot language, can you break that down for me?
so the parking lot language in the original lease was because they were renting out the parking lot to Lucchini,
Yes. Lucchini.
buses.
Yeah.
And then that became a slight question of, they allowed us to have, I think, 3 parking spaces for our staff.
Yeah,
I did explain at the time that if we have events, we do need some parking lot space.
yeah,
So by attaching the entire parking lot into this, it would allow us to have if we're having an event, you're having like a head start, you're doing
Yeah.
whatever it is, and you have 40 cars show up, and
Yeah.
then the same day, the town, who has this now, decides to have a car wash there,
yeah,
and we have no place to park our cars, that becomes an issue. And that was quite the debate the first time we did this lease about the parking lot. It's
Yeah.
basically to tie the parking lot with the building as opposed to
yeah.
separate them.
So is Lucchini renting it anymore?
No, they stopped doing that years ago.
Is there a way that you could, would be able to, change the language in there to give, for example, we still have a field there. If we have a youth group, let's say lacrosse,
Yeah.
that has grown to a point where we're gonna need that field for lacrosse, that we're gonna be able to use that space,
So, I
that
mean,
parking.
all we would have to do there is, on section 4, where it says Raynham Community Access and Media shall be allowed joint use of the entire parking lot with Park and Rec, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Where are you, section 4?
Section 4,
Use of premises?
yep, and then the second to last line, where it says Raycam shall be allowed
Shall be
the
allowed
entire parking
The
lot.
entire parking lot.
Maybe you just change that, Raycam should be allowed the entire parking lot shared with Park and Rec for field use, something to that effect.
Yeah, coordination, throw
Yeah.
coordination in there.
My whole thing
I
is,
mean, like, so, let's say you're having a big event at night,
yeah,
in the afternoon, and we have a lacrosse practice.
yeah,
Or we have a request for using that area for lacrosse. Tim
Yeah.
calls you up, says, hey, May 29th, you got anything going on? Okay, every Wednesday,
yeah.
you know, check your calendars, coordinate.
The, a real life example was that Matt Tennis, great guy, Matt Tennis. He had a COVID vaccine event there. They had 100 shots given out, and they lined up in the cars. They give them the shot in the car, and they all had to park for 15, 20 minutes while they waited, whatever. Now, I didn't know about the event, but if I was to have, you know, a 40-person event at the same time, and then that rolled in, that would have been an issue.
Problem.
You know, but with, you know, basically coordinating with myself and Tim, or,
Yeah, so if you just add that language in
yeah.
there.
And then the only other thing I can think about is, you know, it's basically, it's the way we've been doing it for years.
Right.
It's just,
Tightening up tightening up the lease.
and then the bigger thing is that we gotta get the place fixed, and it's not working with the,
Yeah.
the process of bids and all that good
Yeah.
stuff, so.
Right now, I'm more concerned about the minutes that Sammy's gonna have to write.
We got plenty of paper for you, so.
They're pineapples, in case you need that for the minutes too.
Blue
And you can
pineapple.
always go to YouTube and watch it,
Oh,
refresh
she
your
does.
memory.
Um,
Oh, good.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while now, and it's just, you know,
Yep.
the straw that made me rehash this whole thing was the fact that nobody bit on the fixing the basement. So we're kind of like, we're more in a limbo now than before, because we were waiting to get fixed. And now it's like, yeah, nobody wants to fix it. So we're completely stuck.
Yeah.
No issues on my end, you know, as long as, you know, you and I go back a ways, you know, back to Falmouth. So, as long as we do what we've always done,
Yeah.
I'm good on my end and we can make it work.
I don't see any issues, and then we can, I'll fix that parking lot thing. I can add another line too about, you know, Park and Rec would have first right of refusal to use the space when Raycam's not using it, something like that. Which is, it's never been an issue, and I don't foresee it being an issue unless, you know,
Yeah, but,
if we leave or the different
Exactly.
boards show up, so we
Yeah.
want something in writing, yeah.
yep.
I'll make a motion to support the lease change. As long as the language gets added about the parking lot, first right of refusal.
I agree.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mike,
Thank you, Mike.
Hey,
for
Mike.
your time and your dedication to our community.
Is there a concert tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yep, there's plenty of space if you wanna pull up.
I might pop in now.
You
Thank
like
you, guys.
polka? You like the polka?
Is it Polish music?
It's jumping Juba tonight.
Jumping Juba, but I hear one of those.
Accordions.
They call it, okay. Yeah.
That's where I heard Johnny Cash earlier. You know, that
Yeah.
is in the
Yeah.
back.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
Okay.
Wow. It's going in the shredder. Committee members, town official order, oh, done with that. Item 2, in the books, old business, Gymkhana building.
Gymkhana building, we've been meeting, as you know, about the Gymkhana, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what's gonna happen to the building with the sharing of the space that we talked about. I printed off a picture of the design we are considering, all in a whole. It's kind of been flip-flopped from what we've talked about in the past. The one issue that I have, just looking at the design, is the entrance is still the same, where we're talking about. Did you have a picture in there, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, no, I'm just looking for something else.
Okay. Is currently going through that entrance, it's still gonna take us through the holding area. And, you know, the one thing I would recommend, if it is possible, is we have a better entrance for our events. I mean, it appears there might be one on the back side, but.
Off the porch?
Off the porch area.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the best entrance, that's fine. I just want to make sure, it seems like the main entrance you know, we want to avoid that area on our end.
There's so many things to talk about.
I mean,
I talked to Mr. Brown, he was not in favor of the design for the fact that the common area is not temporarily divided, as we had discussed earlier, by having a temporary dividing wall
Mhm.
right here. So I think he'd be in favor if you're looking at from the cleaning area, that corner of the building there, the corner of the cleaning area
Okay.
to the corner of the ACO office. Oh shoot, that shuts off the bathroom then.
Yes, it does.
But they have those, don't they have those dividing walls with doors in them? Like
I know,
Yeah.
I have seen those, but, I mean, I'm not a contractor, but I think putting up one of those walls shouldn't be that difficult, you know, so we can divide that area out, but.
Just adds cost to the project.
Yes.
That's what it is. And I'm sure they're not cheap. My other concern would be the dog runs. And I know why they're on that side. Because they're away from the already established entrance. They're on the opposite end.
Mhm.
Kinda like the only place that they can be. So that puts them to the fence of the horse.
Of the
ring,
horse corral with
of the paddock.
with the parking lot, you know, facing to the right.
Yeah. So I mean, they're not right on top of the barrel racers, but I don't know, do the dog runs, are they gonna be, like, I could see a dog being in the kennel, and we gotta get rid of that word.
Yes.
But, I could see a dog in the run, you know, going nuts because there's horses, and then horses going nuts because there's dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that
They
statement.
won't get along.
I mean, it's-
They're not all dogs are as good as my dog, and we just sit there and watch.
that's an excellent point, Chris.
So I mean, we can discuss this, we have a meeting tomorrow
Yes, sir.
at 2:30 with Mr. Iafredi, Ted Peetnick, the town attorney, and
Dan Andre.
Dan Andre.
And also Matt Tanis will be there as well, the health inspector. as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he was added to, I spoke to him.
Yeah, I guess that's appropriate, right? So we can talk to him about that. This is what they've come up with. Mr. Brow's concern is the dividing wall. My concern is the dog runs. Do you have anything jumps out at you?
Not particularly to this, but I know it has been mentioned about moving the horse corral across the street with the Space Meadow building from the fire. Is that totally separate? Like, if this were ever to be a dog park at some point, or is that kind of?
Oh, geez, you know, I think that's conversation is
Yeah, separate.
separate, and I think it's already.
Kind of
It
put
could
away.
be.
I mean, it's still, there, but with this design, part of the reason they want to put that porch in,
Yeah.
like that announcing area, so
There's no way they can move. I mean, the name of the building is Gymkhana. That's where the horse ring belongs.
Yes.
Doesn't belong anywhere else.
Yeah. I just know that fence is in rough shape just from walking. it.
Yep.
and
Yeah,
that's.
We're gonna redo
that's
the
something that we
fence.
can talk to a Boy Scout
Yeah.
about,
Right.
or actually even Bristol Plymouth.
Yep, I know they're looking for projects.
We buy materials, they do the labor, and they learn, and they learn and they don't earn money. Anything else jump out at you when you look at that?
Well,
I mean,
in terms
I'm-
of the dividing wall, and
Yeah.
I do think the dogs would bother the horses if that was
That's it.
something that was.
That's a great pickup, Chris, that
Yeah.
really is, I mean, during one of those, you know, just a distraction is,
I mean, and I don't know, I'm not an ACO, but are you abandoning, I shouldn't say it's a terrible word, but are you not gonna be in the building when the dogs are out on the run? I guess what I'm saying is,
Oh, do they have free reign in and out? Right.
right, I know, yeah. Yeah, so is there gonna be a doggy door where they can run out if they need to?
Right.
I don't know what they have in mind for design there, on that, but typically it's a guillotine door type
Yeah.
door.
And
That, you know, that whoever's controlling the area could just pull the door up
mhm.
by pulleys, and then when the dog's ready to come in, they bring the dog in, they drop the door.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, especially for like cleaning purposes and things
Yeah.
like that, but,
So I guess that has to be part of the conversation when we talk to them tomorrow about, you know, you know, is the area going to be monitored when the dogs are out on those runs? Because if it is, they can control it.
mhm,
Like, if the horses are, you know, they take a lunch break, just like anybody else, I would imagine,
mhm.
a break in their show or their races, and, okay, we let the dogs out at that point.
Yeah.
If there's dogs in there, you know, it's only a temporary holding area.
Yes, and that's the other thing that I have my concerns about is, we wanna make sure that those dogs aren't in there too long, you know, on our end. Because we wanna make sure that this is, and I'm with you, Chris, we gotta get rid of that word kennel. You know, that it's something quick, you know, dogs in there for 24 hours or so, and then they're moved on. And my other questions, and this is something that has to be worked out, is what if the ACO is away? Who is next in line? If there is a dog in there to monitor the dog.
Right.
You know, is it, you wanna make sure it doesn't fall back on us, that we have to go check on a dog that,
Yeah.
because the ACO is away,
Right.
something like that.
I guess we should have printed out the shared use Gymkhana building to discuss that. So, I mean, I can read it into the record, and then we can discuss it. The other thing that happened over the last week was the town attorney, Ted Peetnick, had put together some language regarding the shared use of the Gymkhana building. It's what we talked about, you know, putting something in writing that, you know, the ACO is going to coordinate with Park and Rec for the, you know, it's gonna be spelled out, basically. This is the building, this is what it's gonna be used for.
Right.
So they sent Tim this, and he sent it to me to take a look at, and I'll just read it into the record.
Okay.
All right, so basically it says, the memorandum regarding shared use of the Gymkhana building at Borden Colony, dated, whatever date that's gonna be, the effective date, provided the town of Raynham Board of Selectmen in association with Raynham Parks and Rec Department and Raynham Animal Control to establish and define certain uses of the Gymkhana building at Borden Colony. It is agreed that the Gymkhana building will be renovated and used as shared space for Raynham Park and Recreation and Raynham Animal Control. In collaboration with the building department, the Gymkhana building will be renovated to accommodate Raynham Park and Rec and annual recreation events and activities, and serve as the Animal Control Officer's operational headquarters. A unisex bathroom will be installed and shared as well. Renovations to the Gymkhana building will include a common area which will serve as both a function room for Park and Rec and adoption area for Raynham Animal Control. The Gymkhana building will serve as the headquarters for the Raynham Animal Control, and renovations will include office, storage area, holding area, quarantine area, indoor shelter, outdoor cage, and dog running area, provided portable water to drink and or bathe. Accordingly, it is agreed that Raynham Animal Control Officer may occupy a designed portion of the Gymkhana building and may use the Gymkhana building for the following purposes: in its day-to-day operations, operate animal control office operations, provide companion animal or pet adoption services, provide adequate shelter, boarding, temporary basis, to the companion pet, portable water, any other service necessary and pertinent to the operation of animal control office. So Tim and I looked at it and we identified a few areas that needed to be discussed. One of them was drawing a blank.
We got our concerns with use of the word kennel in there, and that is one that we'd like, you know, stricken, taken out. And the other one we discussed, Chris, was you know, a time limit on how long an animal can be held there.
Right.
You know, because we just want to make sure, again, animal's not there for X amount of
Yeah.
time.
I talked to Mr. Iafredi, and he said that it's a temporary usage, and it's in here, defined temporary, right? I mean, I think a reasonable person would think temporary for an animal would be one night,
You would hope.
if at all.
Is there any
Um,
way to keep track of that? Like how long the animals are gonna keep are actually in there for?
That's gonna be a
On
question
record.
for the ACO at some point,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I'm sure they have their rules they have to abide by too when it comes to the treatment of animals, right?
Yep.
I forget what the other
And the
concern.
building use, you know, that we talked about is as long as it's in what the inhabitants of town of Raynham, what is best for the town of Raynham.
Right, which is also in the lease, and
Yep.
it's in the lease. So there's no sense to repeat that language in this document about the use of the building beyond recreational or agricultural activities, to abide by the lease with the state. I think that was it. I mean, I know I read it quickly. I don't know if you want to look at it and read it again and see if you see anything in there. It's at the bottom of the document now. That, you know, that you might raise a question to you, Josh. Other than that, I mean, I thought the language was pretty good.
Yep.
There's just a couple things.
Yeah, a couple of minor things that
we might want to discuss
with them tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Do any groups use this strictly as a bathroom, like, if they're using?
Yes.
I don't know the layout of this bathroom here, but would it benefit us to, you know, if there's animals in here overnight, to have like a separate door? If
Kind of
there's any
similar to what we
more-
have over at the office on
Right.
the outside.
Yeah, but with a separate key, that way there's not access to the whole,
We can do that one, like, again, like we have at the office, we
Yeah.
use that office building. They can't get past that secondary door once they're
Right.
inside.
right,
Again, yeah, it's just adding cost to the project.
right.
But that's a good idea. I mean, you're also gonna lose a wall. So, well, if you put it on the outside wall, there's no plumbing there, so.
Right,
I mean, an event like tonight, that'd be nice, you know, somebody has to
Right.
use the restroom instead of,
right,
you know, we've opened it up in the past for nights like this, but instead of just having that little door right there, instead of
Yeah.
wandering through the building.
I think the other option is we rent a packer potty for the season, you know, but
Yep.
that's a cost.
because unless the whole building's open, there's less
Yeah.
opportunity for something.
Right.
Let an animal
True.
out or
Yep.
be in anyone else's
Yeah.
space. I agree with you guys on that, two concerns there.
All right. We'll address it tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the inside layout of that bathroom, if there's even room, but,
Yep.
From what it appears, it seems like they're expanding it just a little bit, the way the
Okay.
wall's gonna be, because right now it's very tight
right,
over there, so.
Yeah, it's an HC bathroom, so it's gotta be a certain size.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And there's gotta be
Handrails.
handrails and stuff like that, so. I mean, again. Oh, I also talked about storage for
For the horse.
the usage, for the My God, it's getting late. A storage facility that the horse people can use, because they do have some stuff that's stored in there right now, whether or not they use it. Again, I think we need to have a conversation with them, Tim,
I agree with
at
that.
some point, just to find out what their needs are. Not saying that there couldn't be other groups that might use that in the future, but basically they're the primary user of that area.
I think especially, you know, once the building's redone, it's going to get more use.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I could think of RC races,
Yeah,
like an RC group might want to go in there and build a track and use it,
absolutely.
you know, at some point. But I think it's going to be good.
Yep.
But we'll address that tomorrow. Anything else on old business?
A couple more quick things. Just a quick fireworks update. Josh, at one of his recent commissioners reports, asked about a fireworks show in town.
Me and your father.
Yes, well, you're the one that brought it back,
I
sir.
know I
so-
won backing on it.
Yeah. First person I spoke to, was the fire chief, going back and forth. And he has no issues if we ever decide to pursue in that direction. He gave me the rules and regs of fireworks, which I've given you guys. You can read at your leisure. It's about 25 pages or so. You know, the big things that we have to focus on is we need the size of the field, which is key, proper parking, and how we're gonna manage, you know, crowd control, things like
Right.
that. So those are the first issues we need to look at, but talking to the fire chief, because they're the big ones that we're working with, first of all,
Right.
they had no issues as long as we have a concrete plan. I have not jumped into talking to the police yet, or what the cost of fireworks would be. I've heard crazy numbers on what a fireworks show would cost.
Oh, yeah,
I don't wanna bring those out until I have more concrete numbers,
Right.
but
More than you think.
that's something that,
Yeah.
you know, if a couple of years down the line, if we can figure something out, it would be nice to have a fireworks show in town. You know, I mean, especially if we did an opposite time of the 4th of July, if we did it sometime, you know, at the end of the summer fireworks, something like that, so it would stand out
Right.
for the community, that's what I feel.
The only thing I want to add to you guys as you think about doing this is you've got to keep in mind that the fields are leased by someone,
Yep.
right? For agricultural purposes. I don't know how we would be able to use it for anything else. Sorry to
No.
Sorry to put out your wick.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, what you're saying, everything is, that's all part of it.
yeah,
You know, I mean, but if it could happen, this is really the only spot in town, size-wise, with the parking that could pull it off. If we got to that point.
we could sell tickets, control the crowd, control the
That would be the only way we could probably do it. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Kim said
yeah,
Jim can
out of
sit on the
town.
roof
You're gonna
over
have people from out of town,
Right.
Yeah.
especially if you do it off-season.
Yeah.
No, it's the only show in town that day.
That's true. Forgot about the out-of-towners.
I mean, but, you know, maybe we have to do some type of ticket thing that this is who can get in, this,
Just making you keep it in, you know, before you work too hard on it, keep that in mind.
yep. And,
Maybe we could have the town attorney. I mean, talk to Ted about it tomorrow a little bit,
yep,
see what he thinks about it, and then talk to the user of the land, the leasee.
absolutely. And,
He'd probably like the idea.
yeah. And just the last thing, going back to dedications of an area, we spoke about last meeting, for the Cady Memorial. I did go back and forth with Mr. Cady, for his father, and they did find a bench, that they do like him and his brothers. They asked me about you know, where they can get it from. I gave them some information. They're looking into it, but one thing I did stress with them is any bench that you get, we have to make sure it can be anchored, you know, in the ground, in any which direction, because you don't wanna go out and buy a nice bench and then come in the next morning and,
It's in somebody's backyard.
exactly, so I said, that's the key.
Yeah.
But he claims they did find a nice one, and so they're looking into, ordering it. How long it will take to come in with materials and everything right now,
Alright.
that's a whole nother story. So, and that's where we are there.
Okay.
You said that was a bench, and they have an idea for it?
Yes, they haven't specified to me what kind of bench, but
Okay.
they found one that they like, and they're gonna be ordering it. And, once they talk to me about it, once they have their official, if they're go-ahead with it,
Okay.
and then we'll, if we're good with it, then we'll have to talk about where we wanna put it, and at what complex.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on. New business. Permits.
We got quite a few this evening.
Very good.
The first one is for the annual Jocks Camp, August 9th through the 13th, over at the Merrill Complex with the outfield and also the Betancourt Field. Just looking for just their usual permit, and we've never charged a fee for them for this particular camp.
His handwriting has changed. Looks like yours.
It's not saying much of a little.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Raynham Police Jocks with no fee.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
What's the 13th today?
Yeah, that's what I was
I
asking
gotta be
myself.
careful driving home.
The next one, just carrying on with the football, Raynham Giants football. They're looking for their annual permit starting in August, using the Betancourt Field, Mill Street, and also the Burke outfield from the middle of August through basically the middle of November for their times. Practices at Mill Street and Betancourt during the week, and using obviously Betancourt for games on the weekends. And obviously being a town program, no fee in the past.
I'll make a motion to approve Raynham Giants youth football, no fee.
A second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
To finish off with football, I also got one from Raynham Giants cheerleaders. They're looking to practice down at the Merrill Complex as well. I did go back and forth with Jeremy, and you know, they said they can figure out some times and some space for them to practice doing their cheerleading. They're looking for Monday through Thursday, starting in August, again through November for cheerleading.
That's no fee as well?
No fee as well.
I'm just thinking back to 1997 or so. Well, the relationship between the two groups was not good. And part of it had to do with the land used for practice. I just wanna, you talked to Jeremy, he's good with it.
That Jeremy came to me and said they are good with it.
They're supporting it.
They are supporting it, but they figured out, you know, they can find an area for them. You know, basically, you know, one thing they need to remember is we have in the past, and they haven't come to me yet, baseball has done fall ball the past couple of years. That's something that we need to pay attention for, because
Yeah.
if they're, want to use some of those fields, want to make sure that they're not interfering with the fall ball. That's one of my concerns. Because football, you know, they're out there, they do a great job, but they take up half the land, you know, quite a bit of land. So now we just have to find the proper space for them.
I'm just curious. Is there a reason why they're leaving the school? I mean, when they do their competitions, they don't do their competitions on grass.
No, obviously they do own,
Do it in a gym, right?
yep.
doing a little inquiry. Can we table this and move on?
Sure.
All right. That's tabled. Next permit?
Yep, the next permit is for the Over the Hill Soccer League, just for their annual permit, you know, for their fall season. They're looking at starting the end of August through about the middle of November, Sundays from 8 to 12. In the fall, we usually give them the multi-purpose field because they like to go bigger, they can go a little bit wider and longer on the multi-purpose field. In the spring, we did charge them $600.
I'll make a motion to approve Over the Hill Soccer League for a fee of $600.
Second?
Sorry, any questions? Good. So I didn't ask if there's any questions.
No,
All right, good. All right.
that's fine. Aye.
We said 600, I apologize, I didn't hear that.
Yes,
part.
Yes,
Okay.
yep. Sorry, I was rushed, I was trying to be quick today.
You can keep going, Tim, I'm listening.
Yep, okay. The next one we have is for AP Junior Development. It's a cycling clinic. They want to do it on August 21st, and they want to use the backfields where we've done the cross country, where we've had hard rock racing in the past, those big events. That's where they want to do it. This is their first time doing a permit with us. I don't really know this gentleman, but I'm assuming he has been involved in the races we've done there in the past. He seems
Right.
like very knowledgeable about the area. Again, you know, if we have done it back there in the past for those huge events. Now you get to the point where, okay, now we're in agricultural land, do we want to continue
Right.
going back there?
There's been a problem with damage before too from those.
Yes,
hasn't
there has been.
And they're responsible for,
They're responsible, any damage they have to be,
Right.
they have to fix it themselves.
okay,
Or pay somebody to do it, I should say.
right.
Okay.
And again, this is their first permit, so they're looking for 4 hours on the 21st.
Any thoughts? You did have one.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I'll, just so you know, a couple more down the line, we will be talking about rock hard racing again. They want to do their events as well this fall. It would be, if we did the 4 hours, it'd be $140 for a fee.
you good with that, Chris?
And
All right, I'll make a motion to approve a Pioneer Development with a fee of $140.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. The next one we have is a 2-night permit for FC Stars Soccer Club. They are looking at doing soccer training, and they would like to use the Mary Lou Aruda Field on Wednesday, August 4th and Thursday, August 5th from 5 to 9. It's the first time this particular club has come to us for this group. And when I spoke to the gentleman, I told him we do have a 4-hour minimum if he wants to rent the fields, that's what we charge. So he wants to do 2 nights with these groups, and if we charge him both nights, it would be a total of $280.
Okay. Questions?
None of mine. And I've already checked with soccer, just to make you aware, there is no conflict with anything with Raynham Soccer.
Okay.
FC Stars, huh? What type of group are they?
Uh,
Adult?
No, just kids.
Kids? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Make a motion to approve FC Stars with a fee of $280.
Second?
Aye.
280 or one?
It'd be 280, they have 2 nights.
Oh, 2 nights, I'm
Yes.
sorry, yep, okay, yep, sorry. Sorry.
The next one we do have here is for, excuse me, Rock Hard
Rock
Racing.
Hard Racing.
Yep, they're gonna be asking for 2 permits that they've done in the past. The first one is their annual one in October, their big one, where they're gonna be setting up on the 11th and 12th and having their event on the 13th. And basically they're looking from, what time is it now? Basically the night using the lights. We charged in the past, we charged them for 12 hours when we did it before,
Okay.
for a total of 360. If we won't, we go to, I lost my notes. If we go up to their current one, it would be, just forgive me, my notes went. 35 times 12, would be 420 if we continue that past one. We haven't done it the past couple of years. Last year obviously got canceled because of COVID. The year before, it got canceled because of Triple E.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first time we've had the event since 2018, and that's where we did have some damage on the fields
Right.
over here, and they had to fix it up.
And everything got fixed.
Yes.
You said the new fee would be what, for?
420 for the same, if we go by the same 12 hours we charged for last time.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Rock Hard Racing with a fee of $420.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I came down and watched a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It's fun, yeah,
There's not a parking spot anywhere to be found.
yeah. Did they apply for a single day liquor license too?
They have to, once they go through
Did?
there and all.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then we have the next one, which is gonna be the Saturday after Thanksgiving on November 27th. And they use a smaller area, they stay more up towards the Grove and up there. And again, when we proved last time, this one we proved for 8 hours, because it'd be just a daytime,
Yeah.
it's dark early. And so tonight, for this one, it would be, it'd be 280 for that one. Last time we charged 240.
I'll make a motion to approve South Shore Rocks with a fee of $280.
Second that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
The next one we have is the South Shore Rocks. It's a AU baseball team. They are requesting a permit.
Time out.
Oh, wait, did I just do the wrong one?
What did I give
I
you?
thought we were working on South Shore Rocks, that last one.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Are
no,
you
no.
still working on,
Rock Hard Racing had 2, we had 2 of
Oh,
them.
did I miss
I
that?
didn't see a second one.
Sorry, I was sidetracked.
You guys did the last one for
420, and then we had the other one for Rock Hard. There should have been 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, we don't see it.
I'm sorry
but
about
we'll-
that.
No, that's
my-
fine.
I apologize. That's
No.
like their second event. So
What was the date of that?
11/27/21.
11/27.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. 21. It was 280?
280, yes,
280.
for 8 hours.
So I have to revoke my motion for South Shore Rocks with a fee of $280.
Vote,
Apply
yeah.
it,
No, yeah, we'll
reapply my motion
Yeah,
for
we'll,
Rock Hard
Yeah,
Racing
we'll look at that again.
for 11/27 with a fee of $280.
Any conflicts?
No, at that point, all the fields are usually shut down with that one for baseball and softball. We usually shut the fields because the water's turned off and things like that. But now we're getting to the South Shore Rocks.
Yeah.
They're looking for a 2-season permit. They're asking for RMS baseball fields right now, but unfortunately, right now, that field is basically used for the school season, goes in a little bit to June. But right now, the infield's grown in. It's not a playable surface right now. and we're so backed up trying to maintain everything in town right now. Right now, it's unplayable. I don't find it to be a safe area for anybody to play any games there right now. The other conflicts we're gonna run into as we get to the school year is soccer's out there as well for the schools, and they're looking for Wednesdays all day, and they can't be on the complex
Right.
while school's in session. I do have some dates that they can play at McKinney, you know, in September, you know, late August, but I don't have those areas right now that he's looking for. In the past, he's used McKinney and Reed Field, but right now with McKinney, with Raynham Youth Baseball, a couple other clubs are already ahead of him with time, and Raynham Youth Baseball's out there till the beginning of August with their older kids, so I really don't have the time he's looking for right now currently.
So I messed up on his time frame, and now we have to. Right, or something.
I mean,
Well,
we can modify, and
Yeah.
I can plug him in,
Yeah.
you know, various places if we can coordinate, but he's not looking.
Yeah, so we're not approving this, we can't approve this specific permit, but if Tim can find something for them, we can approve that.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be a plug in here, plug in there, but not like the,
Right. So is he gonna resubmit, and then we'll, or do you just? make a
No,
motion for-
we can make a motion that Tim can work with him for an
Okay.
area.
I'll make a motion for South Shore Rocks that Tim can coordinate and approve an area.
Deny this particular permit, but,
And that would be a fee of,
well, I guess it would matter, you know.
with how many games that
Right.
they do.
Yeah.
I
okay,
think, you know,
Let him work with the fee.
pending fee,
you know, and I would recommend with a cap of the $600, you know.
okay,
Yeah, we'll just, Tim will work with the fee.
all right,
Is that your motion?
yes.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, Sam, now you gotta add all my mistakes I've made too, or erase them, I should say.
The next two is for Mass Drifters softball. They submitted two, they have tryouts coming up the beginning of August. The top priority was August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And with their secondary one of August 7th and 8th. Right now, where my concern with their top priority is we have the Monty tournament out there till August 2nd. And if there's any weather delays, you know, it's been a rainy season,
Yeah.
it's gonna push it back, there's gonna be conflicts. So
What's that,
my,
Saturday, Sunday? I'm sorry.
for the Monty tournament,
Friday, Saturday.
Friday,
Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, with a rain date of Monday.
Okay.
So that brings us now, you know, so now we're in August 2nd and possibly 3rd, you know, if they have to do any adjustments. So that wipes away two of the days that they want. I think we're better off going with their second option of August 7th and 8th and letting them have the fields.
Oh, they want the whole complex.
They want, metal
Fields
fields.
one
yeah.
through 7
Basically, they wanna
batting
focus
cages.
on fields 5 and 6 with the batting cages.
Oh, yeah, right, obviously the softball fields, and
Yeah.
she should, yeah, 5 and 6 with batting cages.
Yeah. It's just,
Oh, she's got it written there, I'm an idiot.
it's just
Sorry.
the concern would be is,
You can put that in, you can put that
Do you have a pen?
is if they ever ran, you know, with the weather, if they ever ran long,
in. Yeah.
you know, that's why I would recommend August 7th and 8th over the other ones, or I can keep them informed, and if they have to move and push things back, they can push things back. But the guaranteed one would be the 7th and the 8th.
Yeah. Christina Barati, huh, now she's involved with
Yep.
Drifters? She have kids?
No, I guess she just
Just doing
coached in
volunteer
college
coaching?
and just
Yeah.
got hooked on with this team.
This program. Or is she just doing,
No, she's doing
Just one
coaching, and she's got multiple teams. They're actually out right now. They've been playing at Reed since May with us
yeah,
out there and doing great.
good.
So, In May, we charged them for their 2-season permit of $1,200, but obviously this is not, you know, in line with that, so if we did just the total time, basically we're looking at, you know, 8 hours total if we did the first one, and 16 for the second one. So if we did the 8 hours, it would be $280.
That was for the first one,
Yeah,
which is the one you,
August 7th and 8th.
yeah.
August 7th and 8th, you know. They're
9
saying
to 4 is
9 to 4 is 8 hours, but that was 16 hours, so we're looking at $560 for that one.
560 and 780. And that's based on the time
That's,
and the number of fields?
that's based on just charging them for one field. If we did that, we'd double, so now we're looking at,
Might as well just ask for a season. for God's
Yeah.
sakes. I mean, the program's already paid for the use of a field for,
Reed, but they wanna use like the field with the infield mix.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's just,
If we do something about that, or is that, it is what it is?
that wouldn't be, I don't know, we also don't wanna set precedent, so.
Right,
140 minimum 4-hour user fee pay per day. That should be 170, right? Minimum 4 hour.
4 hours would be 140.
140?
Yep.
30, 60, 90, 120, 130, 140. $280 times 2 is 560. I see it. But actually 9 to 4 is 7 hours. So subtract $70, which would make it $490. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve Mass Drifters softball, for August 7th and 8th, with a fee of $490.
Second.
Aye.
Aye, all in favor?
Weasel.
Oh, this is difficult. Tim, we're working.
Working overtime tonight.
This is Liz Francis time limits here, we're talking.
And a lot of these permits, and Sammy will tell you, came in over the past couple of days. All of a sudden, this thing just
Yeah.
went crazy. But we're on the last one, I promise.
The word's out. Get your permits in or you're not gonna get any space.
Yeah.
Oh, Christina
Last but
again.
not least.
No, that was the other one. That was
oh,
the second option.
Okay, second option.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the 7th and the 8th, and we're gonna keep them off during the week, because of, we don't wanna run to the Monty tournament and have any conflicts there.
Yeah. Right, I gotcha. Shauna Chabot and Clem
Shauna
Shabbat. Shabbat?
Yep. They're looking, this is for New England Football Club, another soccer club, words out about our fields. They're looking to run practices on Tuesday and Thursday night, but I did speak to Haresh, and there is conflict on Tuesday nights, and so I spoke to Shauna again today. They'd like to do Thursday nights, starting this Thursday from 6 to 7:30 through the end of August. On either Burke or Mary Lou, I would put them on Burke.
You said Monday and Thursday?
Monday and
so
Thursday,
This
yes.
Thursday from
From 6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30, so same time.
Yep.
You wanna put them on,
I want to put them on the Burke field because Haresh is using
Yeah.
Burke
Yeah,
and
okay.
Aruda for his programs. And then we also have another conflict with the other soccer club in August on the Mary Lou Aruda field. So Burke would be the best play for us.
and she's okay with this?
Yes.
She just- okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And this is the first time this club's come to us, so we haven't had a charge
It's a
with them.
season.
It is a season, yes.
600?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve NEFC with a fee of $600.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, we have some Lions Club single-day alcohol permits.
Yep, they have their annual golf tournament on Friday, August 27th. Looking, as you said, Chris, for a one-day liquor license.
Yeah.
There are no conflicts during that time period.
So I would approve a motion that we recommend their application to the Board of Selectmen, select persons, sorry.
That's the answer. I'll make a motion to approve the Lions Club one-day liquor license pending the approval of the select persons.
Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And a second one? Oh,
Yep, that was just 2 copies in yours, Chris?
yeah,
All right, nope, same one.
yep, okay.
You wanna go back to?
Yes, back to cheer. Looking at this a little bit closer, Burke Soccer Field?
I think she put that down as a possible backup, thinking maybe also, you know, she's thinking Burke outfield when it comes to that, because soccer already has all that use for that field throughout the season. And this is the first time that since I've been back, that we've had cheer come to us for field space. And
I don't know, like, I'm just assuming that it's a financial issue with having to pay for using the gym.
I'm not sure if they also ran into a problem last year, you know, with COVID.
COVID, yeah.
They weren't, outside groups weren't able to go into the schools
Yeah,
last year, you know.
yeah,
So we, with our before and after care program, we were the only outside group that was allowed in
yeah,
throughout the year.
yeah.
Um,
I would say no to the Burke. This is soccer over here, and it's lacrosse and soccer, let's keep it that way.
Honestly, in my opinion, the best way to keep them out, you know, for where they are practicing, is if we put them in the outfield of field 7, all the way down back. Because that'd be the last field that they would use for,
You know how far that is away from the parking lot?
I'm sorry. My opinion, though, again, you got me on that one, is that would be the best field to put them back, because it would be, football's got the outfields of Burke, they have
Yeah.
Betancourt, and the other ones, especially with fall ball, they stick more to field
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6.
But football technically does not use Betancourt for practice at all, other than maybe the Mighty Mites.
Yes.
So if Jeremy is in support of that, I would support a motion for the usage of Betancourt with coordination of Raynham youth football, and a second option, field 7. So you don't have to walk so far from the park.
I'm sorry, I'm just that mean guy that does that.
So Burke's.
No, that's a great spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that used to be where the little history here doesn't have to be in the minutes, okay? But well, I guess it does because it's public record. But one of the main reasons why it became involved in Park and Recreation was that used to be a practice area for the midget football team.
Really?
And then out of nowhere, a baseball field appeared with no coordination with football. So that's why I got involved, because the communication was pretty poor.
I wish I had a cool story like that.
But,
I don't have a cool.
that's a good one, huh?
Yeah.
So, and now we want Chia to go down there.
Yep.
So, it's a perfect spot, you're right away,
You
no parents bothering you.
Yep.
Like, what parent's gonna walk all the way down there? You far that is from the parking lot? That's the argument, Karen. So that would be, I mean, that would be my recommendation for a motion, and I'll entertain that unless you have something else you wanna come up with.
Sounds good to me.
Those are nice golf shorts, I just noticed that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Usually they catch up on them. I'll make a motion to approve Raynham Giants cheer for Betancourt Field, with coordination with Raynham Youth Football and Field 7 as a second option, with no fee,
Denying Burke and Burke.
denying Burke and Burke.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's easy. And you haven't been able to say moving right along tonight either.
I'm moving, not right along.
You hit the nail on the head, Chris. We had a lot to talk about
Yeah.
tonight.
Jim picked the perfect night to,
Yeah, he won't get a big
you
page.
know, you know what, I would
Joke
say,
about the page.
I'm gonna text him to watch it on YouTube, to torture himself.
Yeah.
Right, but he won't. What do we got here?
This is now, we have a scholarship request from a family that took in a family member under emergency situation.
Who will remain nameless.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Basically, he was being taken care of by another family member. That family member fell ill. They would like to attend the summer program for Park and Rec. This family that took him in is getting no financial assistance for care of this person. And they came to us looking if there's anything we could do to help. They did supply all the requirements that we did ask them to give. And they also have a letter for you to read on your end as well.
So they're looking for Park and Rec summer playground
Yep,
for the remainder of the season,
yes,
5th grade?
yep.
Yeah. What do you think? You still reading?
Yeah, well, it's
I'm
fast.
sorry.
All right. Sorry, you were saying thoughts?
Yeah.
I will say I've had a chance to speak with the family myself
Yeah.
several times. Very nice family, and I think it's the right thing for us to do.
So, I'm making a motion to approve the scholarship for a fee of 200.
No, for free.
For free. The original fee, okay. Approve the scholarship with no cost.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving to commissioners' reports, Mr. Brown, chirp, chirp, crickets. Mr. Daisy,
I will spare Sam the writing.
likewise, I think we talked enough about what our concerns are.
Yep.
Staff reports, Sam?
I just wanted to thank Cutie Alves for donating a regulation-sized tennis net to Park and Rec. It was unused and she got it during COVID, so she called us and dropped it off last week.
All right,
Hasn't been used.
thank you, Katie.
Thank you,
So,
Dan.
very thoughtful, very kind. We'll
She-
definitely put that to use.
Yeah. She a user of the facilities?
I
She a
believe
tennis
so.
person?
She's not from Raynham, but she uses a lot of the tennis courts around here locally, so.
Excellent.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for recognizing her, Sam, and for that information.
And I'll cut mine down as well, make this quick tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. Just real quick, I'd like to point out trees in town. We've lost quite a few over the past few storms. We've had to take some down. We lost 6 at the Merrill Complex, storm at the end of June. So you may see more tree services coming around and take down trees. We intend to take another one down today by the farm stand as well. Did you want to talk about that?
Throw it in there, quick. I think we should, so it's on the minutes.
Yep. We're also gonna talk about, Sun Farms. They are renting the area down the street. I did go back and forth with, the town. I've asked that we are more involved with the planning and implementation of the program there. So going forward, we're gonna handle the administration part of it, approving the permits, going forward, but they're also, due to the leases with the selectmen, they have to do their part after we do ours. So we'll basically go through the permitting process with them, make sure they have all the details, and then I'll submit a letter similar to how we do with,
Liquor permits.
yes, liquor permits, let them know we're all on board, and then the check will be sent, and the check, when they pay every year, is being deposited into our board and
Board and
call.
calling account.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, again, like last year, there was some miscommunication on how that process worked. It had always been, the lease would go through us, recommendation to the board, approval, and the rent, the agreed upon rent or lease of the property would be deposited in the board and calling account, because it's on board and calling.
Yep.
So,
Makes sense.
change in administrations, things happen. Change in management, things happen. They didn't know the process, so. But we're up to speed on that now, so thank you for,
Yep, not a problem. And just one last thing with Sun Farm. They are looking for about 20 acres of farmable land.
yeah?
Yes. So
That's gonna be tough now.
that is very tough right now. So
What
it's
was
something
it, a
that,
year ago?
right now, there's nothing we can do at this current time to get them what they're looking for, that 20-plus acres. I was informed about this just the other day when I was going back and forth
Yeah,
regarding this. So it's something we can, if something ever changes, we can talk to them about, but right now, we don't have 20 acres,
we probably won't have it for a while.
yeah. So,
We've already made an arrangement, an agreement with the current user, so.
Right.
yeah, so.
We can have a conversation with them.
Yeah, so that's just
Mr.
something that,
Pacheco. I'm sorry, Aruda.
yeah. And speaking of Tony, I actually got a chance to, Tony stopped by the other day, and he's doing well, and he's going to be doing his yearly plow and clean up the land late July, early August. So we'll
Oh.
get that all set and good to go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so,
Every year he's doing well.
yeah. Just a couple of other small things. One of the slides at Merrill has a big crack and hole in it.
I heard.
And I got an estimate on the slide, because they have a replaceable slide. Just under $7,000 for everything,
For a slide?
for a slide, to replace the one that's there.
Was it made out of wood?
Actually, plastic's being harder to find now than wood.
Yeah.
And
No
So-
ocean water. It's the ocean.
I just, so I have reached out to the schools, we use it, they use it, see if we can come up to an agreement on how it's gonna be
Yeah.
handled, and I'm still waiting to hear back on that one.
Okay.
And if not, it's something that we'll have to discuss on our end, or I do have a call out to the company, if we took the slide down, do they have a barrier that can be put up, because the slide has
Right.
that crack in there,
Yeah.
that's the other option,
Yeah, yeah.
to go from there.
Go from
Yeah.
a slide to no slide.
Yeah.
Boring.
Just so you know, daycares look like we'll go back to normal in the fall, working with the schools, everything's looking good to go, and RMAC is coming back into play this year, where kids on our wait list might end up at the program. And again, I just want to thank Heather, Emma, and particularly Sammy. It's been a crazy couple of months for us with things getting back to normal, and I appreciate all their hard work.
Likewise. And Sammy, if I haven't said it before, your minutes are,
I'm listening.
I mean, I don't know how to say it. I mean, it's like you write every word down that comes out of my mouth. It's so, you don't miss a beat. And it's great to read them and say, like, when I read them, I'm like, oh, Yeah, I remember saying that. As we get older,
Is
our
that a
memory,
good thing or a bad thing?
it could be both,
Yeah.
one or the other, so.
Alright.
Anyways, so that was, I guess that's my commissioner's report, is that Sammy's minutes are phenomenal.
I write my own code now. Thank you.
All right.
YouTube also helps. Thanks, Marco. No
Yeah, right.
problem.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:36.
All right, I got 38, but we'll go 7.
Oh, it's an Android.
Yeah, we're a little slow. Oh, no,
A
fast.
little fast.
Fast. All right, we're off the record.
Hey guys, did you vote it in?
Oh, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, sorry, Gavin.